What is up, and welcome to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. Just double check there. Welcome. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. And if it's your first time here, then welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And as tradition around here always is, that we always check to see who are the first members of the Camera Junkie crew to be in the chat. But we're going to switch it up a little bit, because before we go to the chat, we are going to take care of a little bit of house cleaning, right? Some things that I've always been wanting to implement, and I'm going to do so now for both of our benefits. Now, first one is to mention that it is the last chance for you to get into the pre-sale for the Doc Rock Pops, right? Or the Doc Pops, which is what you're seeing here on my microphone, which makes me look good and also sound good. So if you haven't had the opportunity or done so yet, please be sure to make your way over to docrock.live/merch to get yourself ordered in the pre-sale so you can get the nice discount before they go back to regular prices. And FYI, production is going to start on Monday. So, if you order now, then you'd be having to wait the least amount before you get your hands on them. I ordered mine months ago, I believe, already, when the pre-sale started, and now the production is going to be ramped up. So, just a little inside baseball. If you order now, then you'll be having to wait as least as possible before you get your hands on your very own Doc Pops. And I got six more for 3 different microphones and a couple of different colors coming on the way. So now that everything's rolling, I'm gonna go ahead and be placing another order for some new microphones that I'm gonna be getting my hands on, and some new exciting colors that just to add to the repertoire. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and make your way over there to check that out. Oh, I'm over here, and this is the camera. See? When you have multiple cameras, you can switch yourself up, and this is the camera for this ad read. The whole time I'm here giving you the zoom look, like, hey, and check that out with the things over here. Well, we continue. The next thing is Ecamm. If you're wondering how it is that I do all of this, easily switch scenes, have multiple cameras and everything like that, please be sure to make yourself on there. I think I know that guy on the website, but if you haven't, please be sure you can just use the QR code right here, and that way it'll direct you to the website so you can check out this amazing program. And this is what I use for everything that I do, for my pre-recorded content, my overhead shots, for my quick Amazon videos, remote production. This program gives me the power to do everything, including make all of this look and work so seamlessly. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out Ecamm. And easily as that, we'll be switching over to this scene right here, where we will be able to check out the crew members in the chat. All right, and right off the bat, we have Ernesto saying, happy Saturday, everyone. Just chilling at home today, postponing homework until tomorrow. I feel you, bro. Says, needed a day of rest from working full-time and full-time student. Yeah, and student full-time. Hey, I feel you, man. And rest is very important. So make sure that you charge yourself up so that you can perform your best. Something that I do, believe it or not, like if I'm editing a video and I'm just really like not feeling the energy at the moment, I will just like walk away from it and make sure that I am attacking the project with as much vigor and energy as I can. Because if I try to do something when I'm tired, or let's say like my head starts to bob for whatever reason, then I need to take care of that first. Because even if I were to complete a project, it would be like Swiss cheese. It would be full of holes, and I would have to go back and redo the work anyway. So there's no reason to work half-assed. You got to do everything whole-assed. You know what I'm saying? So All right, we have Parker Jennings in the house as well, saying hello to everyone. G. Albert's here saying hello to me, to Luis, and says, welcome to September. Yep, this year has already flown by so fast. It just seems a bit extra dark. Oh, we have some lights missing. I was like, there is some lights. So let's get the strip lights on. Let's kick those on. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And for some of you who might have noticed, my Govee lights, my the Govee glides, they're malfunctioning right now. They're supposed to be solid blue, dimly light, but they're running a mind of their own today. So I'll deal with that once we, like later this week. Oh, we have Yolanda in the house saying hello to everyone. Jim Mundy in this house saying hey, happy Saturday, and congratulations for I believe it's a great uncle, right? So congratulations on the new member to the family. He's saying happy Saturday to me and the MCJ crew. We also have Nano in the house, Tech for Your Needs, saying hello there. How you doing, bro? And Nesto letting us know that he ordered 3 of the Doc Pops. All right, so just so you know as well, the production is starting, and those are going to be shipped out fairly soon. Just trying to get better, not feeling well at the moment. I remember that you had mentioned that, so I hope that you do feel better, bro. And just know that you'll get better. But just wish you a fast recovery. Oh. Aiden's iPad died right now. That's not good. All right, give me a second. I have something else around here. Where did I put it? This is Aiden taking priority, but just a second, because if not, then I won't be able to finish this live stream. What did I just do with his phone? Oh, there it is. Boom. All right, this has plenty of juice. There you go. It's not as big as the iPad, but it'll get the job done. And Nestor says, yes, it does seem a bit dark. Well, we have switched a couple of things up. So one of those things is that I've switched up some of the cameras. So having access to them and having the ability to mess around with them, I decided to switch some things up just so that we can mess around with it. So I have the ability and I had accessibility to the Canon R10, which I started messing around with, but it's not really video centric, right? And then there's a couple of others like the Nikons and things like that can be good and are good cameras, just have some limitations to them. So the first one that we connected here, let me go to it, is the Nikon ZFC. And that's this one right here. We mess with the colors a little bit, but this is basically USB-C 1080. So this is a 1080 feed that you can get using the kit lens. So I believe I put that information there. Just to get some more here. They're both running around the same distance, and I say both because I have the other one as the overhead right now. Just foreshadowing. And right now I have it running on the APS-C at a 24 millimeter set. So that's running, I believe, like 35 millimeter, right? Or 38 millimeter. So that's the equivalent. So that's basically the look or the shot field of view that we're getting with it. But it is the kit lens. It is aperture is down to 4.5. That is the widest that is going at the 24 millimeters. I believe it goes to f3.5 at its widest at 16. But it's a variable aperture kit lens. But the thing that impresses me with this camera is autofocus, that it's pretty good. So this is the look that you can get using the Nikon ZFC as a webcam, just pretty much directly out of the box. I did do some color tweaks to kind of match the colors for the rest of for like the rest of the images through Ecamm, but it is no color profile. I just double checking. It is, it's standard. So yeah, there's no like vivid or any picture profile added. It's just a standard picture profile. And I did some tweaks on the color on the Ecamm side, which is why I had mentioned like this is how easily I'm also able to do this. So I have of quite a few different cameras connected to this setup. So my main camera, the one that we were just showing, to go to it, this camera here, this is the Sony A7R2, and I have this connected via HDMI into a cam link. So I'm getting full 4K 30 out of this camera into the computer. So that's why we're getting like the highest quality. But the camera itself is limited to 8-bit, and that's basically the same when we're coming to the upload from Ecamm to YouTube. Now, the other camera, let me switch back to it. Oh, I lost my mouse. I did lose my mouse. Where did you go? Uh-oh. No, this is why we have a backup. There's my trackpad. And there's my mouse. Perfect. Okay. We're going back to it. ZFC. All right, so now I'll have to work with this trackpad for the rest of the night. Let's see how we'll go from there. So where was I? Oh no, so this is the image that you can get. Now this is USB. The camera itself, once it's connected as a webcam via USB-C, it actually does a 1080-30 signal, or 1080-60. The thing about it is that it's connected like a webcam, so Ecamm is not giving me that information, or better said, Nikon is not really like pumping out that information just because it's connecting it as a webcam. But if my memory serves me correctly, I believe that it's at 1080-30, and that's the USB feed that you're getting straight out of the camera. So with that said, I'm gonna go to my B camera, and my B camera is off. Okay, let's turn this on. There we go. That's the Canon R10. As you can see, it's not keeping its cool, I guess, and staying on. I have it with a dummy battery, and I also have it set up with the USB fan so that it doesn't overheat, because this one's a little prevalent to overheating. But right now, I guess just connected with the HDMI, it's not staying on, and I guess after 30 minutes it's shutting off. So that's what I think is happening right now. So most likely for the next 30 minutes, we're about 16 past the hour. I would check again at 46 or 47, right? 30 minutes from now, to see exactly the status of this camera after I press the button. But I didn't want to change a lot of this shot as well, because I wanted to set this one up as the way that I would use it. So if I were to have this one as my B camera, then I would have it connected the same way as my A camera via HDMI, which it is, to another cam link coming in at full 4K 30. So that's the image that we're getting off of it. And I had time to order an M42 mount. So for those of you who probably haven't heard me say this before, I'm a big fan of the M42 mount. This is a threaded mount for old vintage photography lenses, and a simple dummy adapter like so will allow you to mount those old school vintage lenses onto your modern mirrorless cameras. So I got this one for the Nikon Z. I had one for my Sony E mount, and I then decided to order another one for the R mount, and that's what we're looking at right now. So instead of having to figure out which lens I was going to compare this camera to, I decided to use the same exact lens. So I got an M42 mount for this camera, which allowed me to place the same Tamron lens, which is on display or over here, uh, that I would use on my A6100, which normally sits in my B camera position, with that same exact lens, so that I can get a little bit better of a comparison versus previous live streams. What I've noticed is that this is the sharpest that I was able to get it. Now, I really didn't go into the settings, but it looks a bit soft. It almost seems like the softness that I would get naturally from the lens itself is being heightened almost to like a glow, that even stopping it down, because I did stop it down from, this is an f2.8 lens, I got it down to f4 to try to see if we could clear up some of that sharpness, and at the same time it's still a bit soft. So that's what I've noticed out of there. And we're going to continue to move on so that you can see what we have going on. And to give you a little bit more of a behind the scenes, then I'm going to go to my next shot, which is my behind the scenes. So this is my iPhone XR using continuity camera, but it's giving you a good illustration. This little lens hood right here, this is my Tamron lens connected to the R10, which is sitting recessed towards the back. This is the Nikon ZFC being held magnetically and just connected via USB-C. And then this is my A7R2, which is my main camera, the one that just sits here, just lives permanently on. I do not turn it off throughout the entirety of the week. I just turn on eCam whenever I need to use it, and it's ready, rocking, ready to go. I have my teleprompter monitor underneath with the teleprompter on the side. Just FYI, I made this out of foam core, guys, just to block some of the extra light that I have here from actually hitting the screen, causing more glare. So allowing me to read the context of the teleprompter a bit better. That's why I kind of added those wings there. But just to give you an illustration, this is my monitor underneath, just connected with a simple Ulanzi claw clip, so that I can easily put it on and off of my camera rig, and everything's connected there. So this is my main camera. This is a E camera at the moment, and then the Canon as the B camera, and the BTS camera here, which is the iPhone XR. Okay, the last camera that I use is my overhead cam. Now, my overhead camera prior to this has always been my Nikon, my Sony ZV-1F, which is this guy right here. And I've always used this guy as the overhead camera because all I needed to do was just connect the USB-C and just leave it there. But I decided to test out the Nikon because I was just going to praise it for its amazing autofocus, because I was thinking that it should be an upgrade in autofocus. But the proof is in the pudding. We're going to have to see exactly how this works out, and we'll test it out. It definitely has more range, so that's what I'm hoping that we get, because the autofocus feature, or the area for the autofocus, is much bigger. Maybe I just need to address it and shrink it down. Yeah, maybe so. You know, I think more than anything is the keyboard. So let's do this. This is something that I've done in my previous streams. Let's just push this off. All right, so let's see here. Nope, that definitely was not it. So now I'm gonna go to the reinforcements. Shoot. Okay, it is working right now, basically in the same manner as the Sony, but it almost looks like it's dropping frames as well. So here we go to give some more information. I thought I had an upgrade, and I was like, this is gonna be a substantially better situation than the ZV-1F, but I could be mistaken. So I'm gonna have to run some more tests because it could be a lighting situation. Now, this is the only difference that I think that prior to tonight's live stream, I haven't had an issue with this camera is that I've always had an overabundance of light. This is the first time that I'm doing a night live stream. And the one thing that this ZV-1F has is that it actually opens up to an f2 aperture. So if I do open it to f2, it does allow a little, like a good amount of light, allowing maybe the sensor and the components inside to focus better. So that could be an emphasis, which is something that I'm going to put some more testing into, because the only thing that it could be is a lack of light. I am once again running it at 24 millimeter to kind of like zoom in. So just to kind of like go back to it, this is wide at 16, right? And I zoom in just to get like, you know, to crop into the desk, and that's at 24 millimeters, but that means is bringing the aperture down to f4.5. So f4.5 might not have enough light, even though I think it should, but that's why we test, because thinking it should is completely different than actually doing, because that's right in the sweet spot, right? Very interesting. Let's see. My coaster, I guess, has enough contrast that it's not having trouble picking it up no matter where it's at. See, that's actually working pretty good right now. It could just be the texture and the color of the actual camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it one more time. So let's just see. Live testing here, super exciting stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's hunting a bit. I think it still is. Maybe because there isn't enough contrast or texture on it for it to really have something to pick up to. But even right now, it's acting a lot better. So let's hope that it continues to remember what we expect out of this camera so that it can continue to behave, right? So it can continue to work. Aiden is pulling on me again. What's up? No, that's it. That's what you got. You have to wait for the iPad to charge, buddy. I love you. Give me about 30 more minutes, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna finish my live stream. All right. Let me see what you guys are talking about. And if you have any questions, actually, just to do a quick rundown. So I have two of my main cameras, my A and B, connected via cam links. And then all the other cameras I have connected via USB-C directly into the computer. Now, tell you the truth, the continuity camera, the iPhone, is actually working wirelessly just through the network, through continuity. So I don't have it connected. I just have it hovering over there, and I have it plugged in continuously. So it's just plugged in. And once again, I know for a lot of people, so disclaimer, asterisk, for a lot of people, they have problems with continuity camera. I do not. I've been fortunate that every time I ask for it, and when I open up Ecamm in this particular profile, which is the only profile that I actually ask to use that camera, every time I click over to it, I hear it go ping ping and just connect. And it's one of my more like consistent cameras ever since I did the update to it. So the only problem that I had was, some of you might have seen that the camera itself was acting up, and it was that I hadn't touched it in so long that it was missing like a plethora of updates. So I let the phone do its thing. It updated, restarted, and it's back in action, working exactly like before. So yeah, I have one camera connected wirelessly, which is also good to know because, for example, if you want to use it as a behind the scenes camera, right, switching over to it, it gives you the ability to, like, come in and kind of like change angles on it, so you can see how I have the Nikon ZFC. And then if I maybe switch to this camera, uh trying to see if I can give you an illustration of how I have it set up. So this is my iPhone XR, that the screen doesn't really work, doesn't respond well, but I still use it as a camera. So that's how I have it hung up, right? And it's on like a boom arm, like an old microphone boom arm. And that's how I'm able to have it to like just float everywhere. So let me go ahead and check it out. It's this one. There we go. See, just gives you a behind the scenes look. And rock it backwards. So you can see the R10 that I also have hanging over here. And give you a behind the scenes look at the mess on my desk. A behind the scenes look of the mess on my desk. There we go. All right, so let me see what you guys are talking about. Oh, once again, I was pulling on the mouse because I'm so used to it, even though I disconnected it. All right, JP's in the house. So I'm still packing. So here is. He hasn't left yet. I said packing and I haven't started. I've been playing with the Amaran and the Status Link app. That's so funny. Hey Gretchen, thank you for making it. Saying hi to me and to Aiden. All right. Well, we've just been cruising through it. So I've been messing around with these cameras. And one thing that it has allowed me to recognize is that comparison, in all sincerity, is the thief of joy. Now, I get joy messing around with all of these, but it gets to a point where you start comparing stuff to others, right? And to be honest, it still goes back to what I've always said, which is if you get a camera that's been made within the last 8 to 10 years, you pretty much have something that you can work with, right? There are some limitations to just about everything, but it's working around those limitations. Like, I fell down the rabbit hole last week of finding out how I could prevent the Z30 from overheating, right? That, some people would find that frustrating, yet for me it's kind of fun to be able to problem solve and get like a new splinter of the mind that allows my creativity to actually like get into gear, because that's another aspect of creativity that I really do feel is kind of overlooked, which is how creative are you in making what you want. And that goes into like the pre-production side, like, once again, the behind the scenes of like, even like a school play, right? You always have that aspect of making paper mache items, right? And fake swords and things like that, like just to sell the imagery, but you know that it's not the real thing. And we do the same thing when it comes to creating these videos, right? How to problem solve with these particular items. And I'm grateful that I have a variety of cameras that are giving me overheating problems that I can kind of mull over and decide to figure out how I'm going to attack that situation. So, for some people, like I said, it could be frustrating, yet for me, that's the fun that I get out of it, right? On top of the way that they produce and what you can get out of them, is how would you do it if this were your item? So, whether it's a Sony camera, whether it's a Nikon, a Canon, or an Nikon, right? In this case, I have Fuji cameras, I have Insta360 X2s, Sony's, Canons. Uh, was that is a Zenit, that is a Yashica, a Mamiya, right? Like, I'm a camera junkie, but what I've learned is that it doesn't matter what it is that you have, as long as the camera inspires you to use it, that is what's most important, right? And if even if it is a splinter of the mind of figuring out how to problem solve, I still get enjoyment out of these devices. So that's what I have to say about this. If I did not have, a plethora of cameras, like if I didn't have the FX30, then I wouldn't have any complaints on any cameras whatsoever. And that's the kind of mentality that I always want to adhere to, is just always be like, let's talk about the positive things. And that's why even the Nikon Z30, I did not want to bash, even though it's it overheats pretty fast. Ooh, excuse me. It overheats pretty fast, and being able to like attach a heat sink to the back to prolong that, and now know that I can use it even as an overhead camera, that it won't overheat to the point where I can't use it for an hour for a live stream, gives it a place in the setup. So those are the things that I like, to do and have fun with. So if you're someone like me that likes to get nerdy, then this is where I would tell you, hey, then we might mesh well, and you might want to hit the like and subscribe on the video if you haven't done so already. This is the time to do so. And yeah, like and subscribe, because I think YouTube has paired us up correctly. And with that being said, I'm gonna go to the next segment of today's live stream, which is Cities Gone, channels that I think you should go and watch. And this week's segment of Cities Gone is none other than Geeky Nerdy Techie. Now, it's on the top part of it. Let's go back. Where's it? There we go. Shane. Shane has another YouTube channel called In the Blues. He's a guitar player, but as a camera enthusiast, he also created another YouTube channel called Geeky Nerdy Techie. Now, I'm not sure if I had highlighted him here before, but there's a long list that I have to go through to make sure to see exactly who's hasn't been and who wasn't. I know I've talked about Shane before, but I don't know if I had done this. So here we are. If you haven't heard of him, let me be the one to introduce you to Shane, the creator from Geeky Nerdy Techie. Now, as you can see, he's a camera nerd. Just from the banner, you can see he's got Sony, he's got Lumix, he's got, what's the other one? He does micro four thirds, so he's got a plethora of different cameras, lenses, and he is someone that you might be interested. He does lens reviews, as you can see, lights, camera bodies. You see, he does the Lumix size. The Yeah, he's big on Panasonic, L Mount Alliance, and yeah, I think he's great. He's from Australia, so he's on the other side of the earth. And if you haven't checked out his channel, then let me be the first one to introduce you to Shane. As you can see, he touches on a variety of different things: audio, visual. He's even talking about the Ulanzi cooling fans, which I'm using currently on the R10 over here to my right. Um, just a general cool, down to earth content creator, and definitely a camera junkie himself. So that's why I needed to make him this week's Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. So if you haven't heard of them or checked them out, please be sure to make your way over to Geeky Nerdy Techie and subscribe to Shane. I recommend it. And that's it. All right. And now we go back here. I'm gonna go ahead and check out the chat, you guys. Seems like a pretty chill night. I have some footage to go over as well from a variety of different cameras so I can compare them to previous live streams. Now, I also have to see if because ISO settings were pretty much set identical all the way around. You know, like I would have to say, oh my god, of course it's been darker. I'm over here like why is it so dark? I've been this entire time with my key light off, the main light off, which is like, duh, of course it's gonna be dark. Look, and this just shows you 40 minutes in, and I'm like, those lights losing their ish over here and had me messing with the app. Totally had me trying a bunch of different things before the live stream, and I just gave up. And I was turning off lights and trying to reset, unplugging, doing all this stuff, that I forgot to turn on the main key light. 5, 4, 3, 2. And it's gonna build up in power. Look, you're gonna see like it's gonna increase. And there's a difference. That's the difference, that every time I'm looking, I'm like, but that goes to show you, hey, the show must go on. I didn't figure out what was going on why it looked so dark. So Ernesto, yeah, right there with you. And I couldn't put it together. I was just like going with the flow. The show must go on, and we rolled with it. And that's just a testament to just, hey, nothing's perfect, right? Because hey, we live and we learn. I'm over here trying to fix these blue lights from going crazy, and I totally forget to turn on the main key light. There we go. Look, everybody's like, let there be light. JP's over there playing with his new Amaran kit, and congratulations to JP. He won an award. I read the trophy, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but he's over there at Vid Summit, and he got himself a cool little package. I believe a $3,000 package of like goodies, and also he gets to work one-on-one with Daryl Eves, because he's now going to be part of his like tutoring program. So that's really cool. So congratulations to JP. I can't wait to see what you do with that information, and take off with it. That's because Doc was laughing at Old Country Blondie and himself. Yep. Yeah, but what a flop on my end. Like, how did I not recognize, like, hey, you know what? There's something missing, like the main light. Like, but that goes to show you when you have more than one light source, like I could see your face and things like that. So I had the key light off. And what threw me off is that this main light, what I call the fill light right here, the front fill, I'm going to turn it off right now. And you can see the shadow that it casts. This light here, my main light, my hair light in the back, just to give you the context, those really don't hit my eyes directly. So they don't affect me. And the one that affects me always, that is like blaring, is my fill light, which takes care of all of this darkness here. So turning that on, as you can see, fills in all this light, separates my beard from my shirt and from the rest of the shadows. And with that being said, this is the one that affects me directly the most. But it's just been a long day, and that one got by me, but we did it, guys. This was episode 197, and if you're wondering what that is like, that's 197 consecutive episodes of the Camera Junkie live stream without skipping a beat. Now, we do this every single week, every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendars so that you don't miss the next installment of the Camera Junkie live stream. I always want to thank all of the Camera Junkie crew for coming out here and hanging out here with me. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate it so much, because this is the place where I want to be every single week, the Camera Junkie live stream. And it's because of the Camera Junkie crew and this community that makes it the best place for me week in and week out. So I can't thank y'all enough. I'm dying today. So thank you as always, and take care of yourselves and each other. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces while we do it all over again right here, same time, same place, on the Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So I will see you all next week. And that's that. So I will talk to you then. Talk to you.
Fired all of the bullets. Yeah, you shot me through the heart. Casting dice and roulette. The game was set right from the start. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna know, I don't want it anymore. I don't wanna go, don't wanna know, but I keep coming back for more. Crashing down and